big union money, and anti-conservative attack ads. One of Hillary Clinton's biggest supporters is setting their sights on Ontario. A new organization called Working Ontario Women, or WOW, is getting involved in the coming Ontario election. WOW will be running a series of ads implying that a vote for a Conservative candidate would mean the threat of bringing Donald Trump-style politics to Ontario. I'm not even sure what that means, actually. Does that mean bringing jobs back to the Ontario Rust Belt? Because if it does, I don't really see the downside. The organization, at least on their website, says that they're lifting women up with a focus on improving women's health, fighting for fair wages, and ensuring we get the support we need for our children and parents. And a spokesperson for WOW told the Toronto Star the group is apparently nonpartisan, but they're particularly concerned about protecting a woman's right to choose, which is a very strange statement considering all the major parties in Ontario currently support abortion rights. PC leader Patrick Brown even said that any policy that limits a woman's right to choose or the ability of same-sex couples to marry are off limits for him. But that's not where the redundancies end with this organization that's obviously got a solution in search of a problem that doesn't even exist in Ontario. Again, this is from their website. WOW says that working women in Ontario have been left out of the political conversation for way too long. This is such a fascinating statement for me because Ontario has a long-running female premier, Kathleen Wynne, and Ontario's NDP leader is a woman named Andrea Horwath. Oh, and Ontario also has the first female sergeant at arms, a former police officer named Jackie Gordon. But yeah, us little ladies, we've been left out of the conversation. Shut right out of it. You see, this organization really isn't about women's rights being protected in Ontario or getting women involved in the political conversation in Ontario because that's already happening. No, this is a union front group pretending to be fighters for women when they're really just involving themselves in Ontario politics to dump advertising support towards progressive Liberal candidates. The main bankroller for Working Ontario Women is the Service Employees International Union. The SEIU is a 2 million member strong North American union that has supported Kathleen Wynne's Liberals, and most recently through their support behind Hillary Clinton and millions of dollars at progressive politicians in the United States. But the SEIU is more than just a progressive super union. Let's review some of their recent greatest hits. In 2006, George Soros Open Society Institute awarded a $100,000 grant to SEIU to their support and education fund. In 2010, the former head of the SEIU was investigated for corruption by the FBI. In 2012, SEIU organizers were investigated for voter fraud in Wisconsin as part of the union's attempt to bring down union-busting Governor Scott Walker. And recently, in 2016, the union was caught trying to trick people into protecting their union dues by confusing people with a strangely worded ballot initiative that led voters to think they were actually protecting seniors from identity fraud. And just this past summer, Washington State filed a lawsuit against the SEIU for failing to disclose political donations. In fact, according to OpenSecrets.org, the SEIU was the 5th largest political donor in the United States last year, giving well over $39.3 million to the Democrats while giving an insignificant $2,100 to Republicans. Accepting this help from WOW is in stark contrast to Kathleen Wynne's public declarations of wanting to get big union and corporate donations out of Ontario politics. Kathleen Wynne banned corporate and union donations to political parties and lowered the individual donation limits in Ontario in the wake of a Cash for Access fundraising scandal that the Liberals were involved in. So the SEIU has found a way around that new law so they can still throw their support behind the Ontario Liberals because they can't give help directly to them anymore. The SEIU created a well-funded AstroTurf pinkwash front group trading on women's issues that don't exist to fearmonger in television ads about conservatives doing things they've already sworn they'll never do. Kathleen Wynne, well, she needs all the help that she can get. She's polling last in popularity among all provincial premiers, which is a special sort of accomplishment considering Rachel Notley is in that group too. Kathleen Wynne is breaking her promise to Ontarians to cut big money out of politics. Let's just hope this SEIU's help turns out the same way for Wynne as it did for Hillary Clinton. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. We're holding emergency town halls in Alberta to fight back against Justin Trudeau's attacks on your family farms. Go to savethefamilyfarm.ca for details and to RSVP.